dark day in New Orleans. For the first time, a sitting mayor of New Orleans is facing federal charges. Today, a federal grand jury handed up an indictment against Mayor LaToya Cantrell and her former bodyguard, Jeffrey Vappie. She faces 11 counts, including wire fraud, obstruction, and lying to a grand jury. This all centers around their alleged romantic relationship and how much it cost the city of New Orleans. The indictment alleges that for about 3 years, Cantrell manufactured opportunities to travel with Vappie to engage in personal activities at taxpayers' expense, costing the city about $70,000. And Cantrell and Vappie are accused of trying to cover up their relationship by lying, even under oath, and deleting WhatsApp messages. We've got it all covered tonight. Coming up, we are taking you back to a sit-down interview in late 2023 between the mayor and investigative reporter Katie Moore. That's when Katie asked Cantrell about her compliance with investigations. Plus, we're hearing from the attorney of Ann Bro, the woman who took an infamous picture of Cantrell and Vappie at Tableau Restaurant that led to a major legal fight. And we're looking back at the highs and lows of Mayor Cantrell's political career. But first, WWL Louisiana Chief Investigative Reporter David Hammer takes us through what we've learned about the indictment today.
A federal grand jury charged New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell with conspiring with her former bodyguard Jeffrey Vappie to commit wire fraud and cover up an affair for years while both were married. That includes allegedly charging city taxpayers $70,000 for Vappie's expenses during trips together. And Cantrell allegedly deleted thousands of WhatsApp messages and then lied to a federal grand jury under oath about it. Acting U.S. Attorney Michael Simpson says this prosecution isn't about Cantrell and Vappie's alleged affair. Did you take pause at all about bringing criminal charges that at the heart are based on a romantic relationship, especially with the first woman mayor of the city of New Orleans?
To me, it's irrelevant that it's romance or that it's female. What is relevant is that it is an incredible breach of the public trust. It's an incredible betrayal of people's confidence in their own government, and it's a violation of innumerable federal criminal laws.
Former federal prosecutor Matt Chester helped convict former Mayor Ray Nagin in 2014.
There are serious allegations in here. There are allegations of falsification of documentation to get city money. There are allegations of lying to a federal grand jury, lying to federal law enforcement. But at its core, those lies, those activities were about hiding the illicit relationship.
A 2018 state case in Tennessee also involved the first female mayor of Nashville spending the public's money on an affair with her bodyguard. An associate allegedly warned Cantrell about that in 2022, and she texted back, "Don't accuse me." David Hammer, WWL, Louisiana.
Now, the mayor's indictment is a summons, so Mayor Cantrell will not be remanded into custody, but will eventually appear for an initial hearing. The Home Rule Charter says the mayor can only be removed from office if she's found guilty, but she could also choose to resign. And today's indictment lays out a timeline of how the federal investigation unfolded. It reveals Cantrell testified before a federal grand jury 5 months before she sat down for an interview with Katie Moore. We were hearing that investigators had subpoenaed her communications, and here's what she had to say.
In terms of target, I don't know even what that means. So relative to any investigations, what I do is comply. And what I encourage all of my employees to do is to comply. We want effective government, and I want to ensure that we're doing everything the right way. So we welcome investigations, and we've proven that.
What have they asked for?
I don't understand what you're asking me.
Have federal investigators asked for any communications that are yours or anything related to you from City Hall via subpoena?
Investigations that are ongoing, and we're complying.
Okay, so you don't want to say?
I don't know what you're asking me. You're asking me, you're being inappropriate in terms of what you're asking me. But what I will say, any and all investigations that are ongoing, regardless of any agency, the city of New Orleans and me, LaToya Cantrell, will always comply.
And how is that an inappropriate question to ask what federal investigators have asked you for?
I'm sorry?
How is it an inappropriate question to ask what federal investigators have subpoenaed?
Because, first of all, it's in regards to investigations that are ongoing, and investigations ask for certain information, and we all comply, and we'll continue to do that.
I think she's just saying, kind of asked and answered it so we can just...
Yeah, I mean, it's investigations and any and all. And the city of New Orleans and me as mayor will always comply.
But today's indictment alleges she did not fully comply with the grand jury subpoenas by failing to turn over thousands of WhatsApp messages that were manually deleted. Questions remain about her role in the federal case against building inspection company owner Randy Farrell. He's accused of bribing an unnamed public official, but his indictment makes it clear that public official was Cantrell. At this point, she has not been officially accused of any crime in that case. One of the mayor's former neighbors in the Pontalba was already suing her in federal court for civil rights violations. Ann Bro claims the mayor improperly accessed and published her confidential information. And now those claims have popped up in Cantrell's federal indictment. Amelia Strahan reports.
The situation between the woman who took this infamous photo and Mayor LaToya Cantrell was mentioned about half a dozen times in her indictment.
She let me know where she was, and she said, wow.
And for Ann Bro's attorney, Justin Schmidt, it reaffirms claims made in their own lawsuit against the mayor about a year ago.
This was a confirmation to what we had suspected all along, and it kind of gave a few more breadcrumbs.
Last May, Bro snapped a photo of Cantrell and Jeffrey Vappie eating lunch together in the quarter while he was on the clock as her bodyguard. The photo quickly sparked a bitter legal battle between Bro and Cantrell. When the photo made it to media outlets, the mayor went to police and attempted to file a restraining order. Bro filed a federal lawsuit, claiming the mayor published her social security number, an old driver's license photo, and a prior domestic violence arrest that was expunged after Bro was deemed the victim.
When we initially filed the lawsuit, we weren't sure exactly how the information came about.
Friday's federal indictment of Cantrell, which centers around her relationship with Vappie, doesn't list Bro by name, but alleges the mayor, quote, abused her public position to seek non-public information in support of and to obtain a temporary restraining order against a New Orleans resident who photographed and shared images of Cantrell and Vappie dining and consuming alcohol together. But how Cantrell got her hands on that non-public information isn't clear.
So there's still another actor out there that we don't know who it is, whether that's Jeffrey Vappie himself, whether it's a colleague or friend of Jeffrey Vappie that he had to do it.
Schmidt says he hopes authorities will have answers soon. In New Orleans, Amelia Strahan, WWL, Louisiana.
Schmidt says they'll be amending their lawsuit in light of the indictment. Other city leaders are weighing in tonight, including 2 council members vying to be the city's next mayor. City Councilman Oliver Thomas said, quote, the announcement today reminds us of the need to let the justice system work in a fair, timely fashion and without regard to politics or preference. I'm praying for Mayor Cantrell, her family, and all New Orleanians. These are critical times for our city to get back on track and to stay focused on building a city that works and thrives for everyone. And Council Vice President Helena Moreno said, quote, the mayor is entitled to a presumption of innocence and a vigorous defense. Councilmember Moreno's focus remains on a new way forward for New Orleans. Restoring basic services, creating opportunity, and putting people first will continue to be her priority. Cantrell made history as the first ever woman to be elected as mayor of New Orleans. Now her political legacy is under a much different spotlight. Alyssa Curtis is taking a look back at the highs, the setbacks, and the turning points that have so far defined Cantrell's time in office.
LaToya Cantrell made history as the first woman to be elected as New Orleans mayor and the first non-Louisiana native to do so in 50 years. Her rise to the city's top political position started out in Broadmoor. Cantrell's popularity rose as a neighborhood leader after Hurricane Katrina.
The neighborhood associations reached the zenith of their political influence because their leaders started winning city council seats, and LaToya was one of the first to do that.
From there, she was elected to the District B seat on city council. WWL Louisiana political analyst Clancy Dubo says she was great with constituent services as a council member.
She was outstanding at that.
Then on May 7th, 2018, she was sworn in as mayor.
We're worthy of a clean and safe city. We're worthy of good paying jobs and great opportunities for all people, worthy of quality, affordable housing.
Her first year, she claimed a victory when she was able to secure an infrastructure deal, getting millions for Sewerage and Water Board. Dubose says that's something previous mayors were unsuccessful at, and she hired a new head of the utility. But she also had some bumps in the road during her first term, like failing to deliver on the promise to stop nickel and diming residents on traffic cameras, and hiring, then quickly firing Warren Riley as the police superintendent. Dubose says one of, if not the high point of Cantrell's tenure as mayor was her response to COVID.
This weekend events, we're making the call, I've done that, to cancel all of them.
She shut the city down and we flattened the curve, as they said. And she kept it that way.
Dubose says Ida was different, though. He says while she's great in the midst of emergencies, the aftermath is tough for Cantrell. He says that may have been when the tides turned for her.
I don't think there was just one thing, but it was the post-Ida, when the city ceased functioning at an acceptable level after Hurricane Ida.
She was reelected in 2021, an election that saw extremely low voter turnout.
We pulled it off. Second term, another 4 years.
And her second term has been mired with much more scandal. In the past few years, Cantrell has faced a failed recall effort, criticism for thousands of dollars in upgraded flights on the city's dime, plus a federal look into purchases made by her image consultant. Cantrell's communications director was barred from working for her administration after they spent taxpayer money on mailers touting her achievements. Plus, she's had a rocky relationship with the city council. Dubose says while she had some highlights, her legacy as a New Orleans politician will certainly include dysfunction.
It's going to be a mixed bag, but mostly she's not going to be remembered favorably.
Alyssa Curtis, WWL, Louisiana.
Of course, we will continue to follow the federal investigation into the mayor as it continues, and we will bring you any new updates or developments. Make sure that you stay tuned to the WWL Louisiana News. You can also get alerts from our social media pages or check out our website, WWLTV.com.